really know what I'm going to talk about for 15 minutes. I'll talk about something. I thought that I could upload for more than 15 minutes because that's what it said once. Like, it does say that every now and then, but, like, sometimes it just lets me do it for 15 minutes, so, I think the computer confuses me. As I have been labeled schizoaffective, I do have the legal right to think, like, insanely. I could say, like, the computer talks to me with words and rearranges things so they aren't in the same place, and, people will just look at me and, like, yep, simply because I'm crazy, labeled so. But I also believe that, like, you can rearrange your mind, and then if you learn to, like, bring illusions that you see into reality, you can actually work with those illusions on a level, like on a ghostly level, like working with a ghost or something. And I notice, like, changes in my reality, like, insanely. Like, the energy, I see energy, that's all I see. This guy sent me a link to, it's called Seaman TV, SEAMAN TV, and that's the name of the website. It's all in Chinese or something. Excuse me. But, and then the next day on TV, it's like this guy has a shirt who says the exact same thing. This is one of the millions of examples of how my reality is malleable to my thoughts and how powerful I feel in this reality, which also scares me because, like, the devil and everything. There's so many, like, fears about going to hell, and I think that someone who controls the reality to the extent that I do has a very verifiable fear of going there, at least in the belief system I come from. And I have been lucid dreaming, astral traveling before, like, for the last 10 years, like, for about 5 years in a row or so. And it was, like, you could say lower level astral or whatever. Maybe not whatever all the time, but, like, sometimes it was, like, horrible. It felt so bad. And as you can see, that I am schizoaffective, schizophrenia, and bipolar. Nothing I say is rational, and it's not supposed to be rational. And therefore, would all schizoaffective people go to hell or something, just because their minds are, like, insane and loose, and they say things that aren't true or verifiable and stuff. The thing that, like, I think about why I wouldn't go to hell, is because of how life is growing on Earth right now. Everything's expanding. People are knowing more stuff. Internet is a consequence of that. So, like, when new things come together, fears are released and stuff. I just see Christianity, like, I love that religion, I think that the people in it, like, the lights, the people you'd follow, are very cool and enlightened and stuff. And they've, like, figured out, like, a lot about how to maximize energy potential on this earth, and indeed, they probably have been blessed by God in a miracle. I just look at Marilyn Manson and I see myself. Can no one see that, like, people who deserve to go to mental hospitals these days Same people may have said they deserve to go to mental hospitals in the days where they tortured the patients. It's all relative. Pain is getting less, I think. But when everything manifests in its truthful stance, as in schizo is not negative, but it shall manifest, and in that person's life, he shall see everything he knows, and it can be verifiable by the outside world. And that's something that I have conquered, and am conquering quite successfully. Magic is something in that, and also listening to pain, what causes pain, listening to the spirits. They love me, they love to talk to me because I'm truthful and know what pain's all about. Well, someone went into my favorite chat room. I'll let her talk first because I've been a bit chatty there lately. As you can see, this cross, I have faith in the cross. Exercising. When I see a cross, I see the fact that you should be where you should be, and you shouldn't trespass to where you shouldn't be. And that comes from deep down inside, the true will, the true strivation of your inner self to be truthful in the world. A true brother of all peoples, a true peacemaker, or whatever your soul deems as you know. And it truly is powerful. I know this because I've been in those astral worlds that are dark. And do you know how valuable this is? Oh, I do. And I know a lot of ghosts do, who can come to this light. It's God's light, you know. And so they like that. And it really helps me in the astral when I went there. But now I have like protection, psychic protection from someone in my home who's my company. Okay, so they always do that. I think there's spirits like interacting in the internet. Yeah. What they do in the chat room is like I'm in the chat room, I'm logged in. What they do is they come in there and they say something and they like scatter out really fast. But I've like been into that website a lot, like inside and outside and of it and stuff, and there's so much fear there, and that's fine and it's acceptable. It's just a place for people to rest and be, like a sanctuary. So I've got to remember to be polite and quiet there, since I know a lot of stuff and can help the suffering there. For me, it's a lot about helping suffering, and suffering is like the number one thing to examine, the number one problem, pain, all that. And that's how I like Marilyn Manson. Like a devil's advocate, but when I say devil, I mean that all those who suffer under power's hands, for power does have jealousy inflicted as an ingredient in its package, and therefore it's hard to exercise power without the use of jealousy and getting really excited about it. And so I'd like to forgive so many, very many people who do punish people because they exercise power, and It's fun, you know, and you exercise it because you fear of suffering yourself. You fear of being under that thumb. And yet, I do remember Jesus saying, the suffering are like very important to him. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. It's a mathematical problem, I believe. But that guy, Marilyn Manson, he's much more powerful and effective, much more learned than I am, and I cannot compare myself to him because he's too powerful. He's much more powerful, and he'd tell me to get out of the way, etc. Because he is, his energy is a lot different than mine. I don't want to talk about anywhere about him. So yeah. I've even preached in the astral world before. There was a Buddhist situation. I was talking. Usually it's just my presence that's desired. Even if I'm lucid. Because whenever I begin talking, something happens, like the dream ends, or I somehow can't talk anymore, etc. But I do really love preaching, if that's the name of it, or philosophizing my soul, my outlook in the world. Philosophizer is the best word. I'm very serious. And that's why I fear suffering so much in that non-physical type world, because I do know there's other worlds, And the reason why I simply won't follow blindly like a Christian, because of what Christians have done in the past to people. I remember when Christians and stuff had black slaves. If there's any truth today that's relative to that, then I must look through that, if I'm a victim of it, and know that indeed time unravels things, knots, and equality or differences is expressed in a conversation, such as how black people express themselves today as rappers, football people. It's very generic what I'm thinking, but they're accepted, and that's what I'm thinking, to free up the energy everywhere so that nothing is suffering on the earth, even as the earth is somewhat destructed, as some people shall say today. I always believe there's room to work on enlightening a molecule, as it were, releasing tension from a body, giving truth to a soul who's reaching, homeless in a trash can because that's what he believes is right. However, I do stress safety for myself, as my extremism shall last longer if I'm in four walls of a house and watched over by my parents and my boyfriend, because then I can do more energy work, because I won't die. I have a less likely chance of dying, etc. And if I have my doctors who help me and stuff. And my aim is simply to release fears and pain from the world. It's so very important to me, such as honesty is, and figuring out what your honesty is, because usually, you're just a baby, and you start expressing yourself, get knocked down or something, but then you're like, that was kind of fun, you do it again, and you find someday you'll figure out what you want to do. Let's see if it stops at 15. If it is, bye. I'll see you later. Oh my gosh. So they were like totally truthful when they said I could talk for longer. I wonder how much longer I'm allowed to talk, dude. Like, okay, I got sparkles in my hair and got, some baby's breath, but it's fake. And over here, I, I wanted to put like a shiny metal thing throughout my hair, like weave it. This is a cross right here. It's, has sparkles. It's in my hair. I'm all for expression and art. That's like why I want to live, you know? Probably wondering why I wouldn't live. Well, I've never been this heavy before. I'm like 230, and I used to be like 100 pounds also, and 120. But I have lost a lot of weight, and so my heart feels a lot better. And I'm 5 foot, so I do have a very big BMI. I wish kind of also that I'd have enough intelligence and love to simply not care so much about having a beautiful body, but seeing the spirits ever more clearly, having that be the focus of my life. As I have seen so far, however, God wants me to be very physically focused if I am to be spiritual. And He knows I love the beautiful exercised body. I keep listening to these Christians who tell me I don't know who God is. And you can't know who God is because you have to talk to Jesus instead. I see that they see in a very righteous, right way. They know the concept of what is right. They know the definition, this is right, and they are right, because they're like experts on being right. That's an energy I sense in them. They have also said that the devil will make you simply very, very smart. Very smart. You know, it kills me. It really does. I have done a miracle before. I asked God to show me some stuff, and He's like, He didn't say anything to me verbally, but a fish, swam below. I was on a deck, and dolphins in the distance. I was in the ocean. But of course, a lot of people throughout my life have called me crazy, playfully, because I've always been eccentric, very creative, and quiet. But that name kind of stuck, and now I am labeled that legally. So now I do not consider it as a full-blown miracle, but because I don't even know if other people would have seen it, no one was there. The relevance of it, however, is that I manifested something, if only it be in my mind, that I can see in the physical. Another option. And God didn't want it to be known that I can do such things. And for that I thank Him, because I do know He believes in me. It's like half a miracle, half my mind is lucid in that truth. Given that, I could see how I'd like to work in the medical field. Not as a therapist, not hands-on, not anything like it is today, but magically show schizos who they are. Because a lot of schizos, they aren't verified as people. They aren't verified as what they see another could see at all. They don't believe in themselves, nor do they believe they really have a reflection or that anybody cares about them, you know. And I do give blessings to those who work with them, because I'm sure they work very hard, but simply, your hard work does not deserve all the thanks in the world simply because you work hard for caring for them. If I could be some kind of enlightened pastor or saint of schizophrenia, in a new age blessed sense, which would maybe translate into some kind of shaman, I would like to work with them. At least those who are interested in working with me. Because they would have to be spiritually mindset. There's a lot of mindsets in schizos, so I wouldn't want to say everyone has to do this, you know, because a lot of people want to fit into the norm and go along with what the doctors say, and that's a system that works for them because they believe in it. For those who don't believe in it, I can see a lot of avenues. And because I can actually understand what they say when they're talking their babble. And I have a theory that anyone could understand what they're saying. But I do know that when schizos start talking fast, people call it word salad. Oh, you're not comprehensible. You're incoherent. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. And schizos are aware of that. And perhaps that's why they think differently. Brain scans show same things. Does thinking manage to do that to a brain? Schizo baby's newborn. Does God exist and want him to have a conscience on that level? Etc. This is philosophical thought. A lot of people dismiss philosophical thoughts of philosophers because they consider so many things. The reason they can is that I believe they've let go a lot of prejudice and fear through grueling soul work. It's not just easy to get out of that system of feeling jealousy and not being able to follow your soul. Yeah, you have to know what you want and go and achieve it. As you can see, I have strong feelings about that, because I have had a very painful time here on Earth. And these painful experiences can be addressed best by Dalai Lama, Buddha, Christ, all those spiritual leaders or spiritual people, or people when they're dreaming and fantasizing, because everything has a grain of truth in it, and this is why I would like to enlighten every grain to its full potential. This comes to the Illuminati. What I do with this is that there are things to be feared in the Illuminati. But what they can do is present to the world realities in a way that people will listen. So that people will see that there's other stuff going on. It won't reveal things to the extent that may totally blast you to the moon. Because that stuff does happen. I believe if there was a ladder, that God, like, a ladder of succession of importance, mainly for science issues, which is further down, whatever, up the ladder, it's another line of thought I have. I believe Christ would be above the Illuminati thinking. It's just that I believe that Christ is so high, that no one can really reach his full potential. And that's why if anybody tries, their try is like, good, they tried something. I have not reasoned this through as far as I'd like to. Why I think this is because he was called, or is called, the Son of God. And that just makes my philosophy feel good. Because, if you are the Son of God, I don't know. You're yourself, and you aren't anybody else, really, but why would he be any more important than other people? I don't know, maybe God wants, parents to value their children or something, or want their children to, reach their full potential. And that they are spiritual beings. I think this whole thing is psychological. Okay, let's see if this is gonna cut off at 30 minutes. Cause I have shit. Oh my gosh. This is gonna take forever to download. But I think my boyfriend won't want to use this for a while. So I'm going to my therapy meeting tomorrow, to request a new med, for anxiety. I just do this because I can. It's expected of me, and the fact that it is expected of me gives me anxiety, so I just do it, and my reality creating skills affects all of that. Perhaps the way I experience the medicine will further emanate into the world, and it'll give tips on how other people should take it, or think about it when they take it. I can see people seeing this and saying she's like a heretic, but these days, a black man is president. Satanism is a legal religion in the United States. So is witchcraft. I just have a lot of Christian spirit energies asking me questions. And I stay with them because following their ideology, that makes sense to me, is to stay with them to the extent that they honor what God has to say, etc. Let's see if it closes off at 30 minutes, because I bet that I could only do 30-minute videos, or 40, it might be 40, so I have 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm having fun rambling. Okay, I hope it goes off at 30. Bye if it does. Well, you know what? I'm gonna close out now because it's gonna take forever to upload. We have a slow internet connection. Okay, I'm gonna pray. Blessed be those who believe in all things as acceptably, potentially honorable in this creation. As heaven is there, as a word is there, let other places be there. Let the nations have their own reflection and be happy. Let poetry speak for itself. My prayers cannot go so deep sometimes because of the fear I feel in my heart. Perhaps I'll simply have a video where I pray for a while out loud. Oh my gosh. Alright, bye.